Hey guys, this is OddOneGaming. This is going to be another Dragonheir Selling Gods video. In today's video, we're going to talk about one of the best things that can happen, or one of the best things that Dragonheir has introduced, and that's going to be Piece of Treasury, I guess part 2 for Season 2. We had that last season, it was amazing, I did a full breakdown, and I guess, well, I couldn't do a video yesterday when it popped, but I'm doing one today to give you the best advice, the best option about what you should be choosing, what you should be doing with this one for Season 2, what's gonna be the best equipment to pick. So let's check this one out. Now, as always, before I jump into the video, I do want to mention, if you want to support me as a content creator, you can use code OddOne that you see over there at the top. Make sure you use capital O's for both of that. Costs you nothing, helps me a ton. You get some free stuff instantly. Plus, the more supporters I get, the more giveaways I'm gonna get, right? Once the period for supporting ends, because they kind of have like periods. So, you know, the more the more you guys help, the more I can give back. And also, if you do decide to spend on the game, I get like 2% off of what you spent on. You know, I always try to be as transparent as I possibly can. But I'm not going to completely go over all of the way that this one works, because we've seen it in Season 1, right? I'm just going to go over the pieces of gear. I'm going to go over the quests, whatever, you know, what's going to be important to keep in mind this time. So, first thing that I want to look at is Treasury quests. They kind of changed it from last time, because last time I think they required like 300 stamina to use and some other quirky stuff. And they were like, oh yeah, do this, then do 2 spins, then do it again. No. Thank you, Dragonheir, for making it easy. This time around, you just need to consume 150 stamina, and then you get 20 dice rolls. So I kind of did that. Once you do that, then you're going to come over here, and you're going to be able to use all the dice. It gives you 1, 2, 3, or 4. And then, you know, it's kind of like a bingo card. Once it's completed, you get rewards on the sides, and then you get the gold meltium, which gold meltium is the one that you use to pretty much sort. So if you go to the furnace, you're going to see over here that, you know, you're going to use this. And we have, again, the options of like, what are we going to choose? Now, before I jump into this one and, you know, go over it and choose what the best choice is, the first thing that you want to do is, let me show you, go over here to the Clubsider trial, go over to the boundless chest. This is what you care about, right? Because you're gonna see over here at the bottom, next season set preview. We want to look at what's not gonna be available in the next season. Because if you forge something for this season, but you cannot move it to the next season, from my point of view, you kind of wasted, right, a forging. So we see that there's gonna be no Chaos Symbiosis, no Fearless Challenge, right? No Mark of Austerity. These are all 3 sets that were from Season 1. Then again, some of these support ones, I'm going to tell you for now, is 100% going to be a damage piece that we should forge. That's what I believe. So no Sky's Code, okay, and then like all the legendary stuff. So if you look at this, definitely no Fearless Challenge, definitely no Chaos Symbiosis, and definitely no Mark of Austerity. But one other thing that's worth keeping in mind is the fact that you gotta remember, if you look at this, if I understood this correctly, if you do equipment, right, stored equipment can be changed by any time in the season. Wait, no, what is it? There was something that said that piece of gear that I saved. So actually, let me test it out, right? If I had a glove that I saved from Season 1, this one over here, it says it cannot what? Right, straight up. So inherited equipment cannot be stored again. So if you have a piece of gear that you inherited from Season 1, which was this one that I personally forged, that was amazing, you can now move it again into Season 2, which means this what you might go again for, a glove like this to be able to take in the next season, or something similar or something different, right? So let's have a look at that though. It's going to be also really important to keep in mind that, you know, the season's still fresh, the season's still young. There might be, you know, there's a lot that you need to do. There's a lot of farming. You might be able to get a perfect piece that you're debating on forging, but from my point of view, the same principle is going to be. I think the reality is going to be a glove or a chest plate is what we will be forging, whichever is going to be the most versatile, or whichever is going to be the hardest one to get a perfect piece. So for example, I think what I'm going to do, because I have the attack percent glove with quad enlightenment this season, I'm going to need the complementing one for the same build, because like, you know, attack percent, crit rate, crit damage, it's a lot easier to get several of those stuffs, whereas specific ones for enlightenment-based damage dealers or healers, you know what, because there's more and more, it's a lot tougher. So I believe what I'm going to go with is going to be a chest plate. Then for the chest plate, I believe we're going to go with the Death Record. right? The one that gives you 20% more derivative damage, which again, we can transfer this into the next season because Death Record is still going to be there. Then, you know, the Strike the Unprepared, we still have it. We're going to get some more, but Death Record, I believe, is going to be the piece. Then, if we go over to the attributes, the main attribute, obviously, like I said, is going to be Enlightenment. For substats, I believe it's going to be attack percent, attack, defense percent, and HP percent, right? Because you're going to want to get yourself the right stats for the sake of doing damage, and then get some survivability alongside it, which is going to be, like I said, those substats, right? So I'm going to go like this. Then if I choose what the rolls are going to be, I'm going all in on attack percent. I believe this is the right choice. Actually, it goes 4 times, I think, this time, because it's a... this time it's going to make it to be a Mythic Plus, which is even better. I mean, oh my god, look at that attack. 27% attack with the Enlightenment. I believe this is the right choice, right? Do let me know in the comments down below what you guys think it's gonna be, but I think this is gonna be the right one, okay? And then obviously once we hit 50, we're gonna be able to forge it. Now, other options that you can look at, honestly, I guess could be something like, let's have a look, Stonebreaker, not Stonebreaker. Honestly, for the bottom side, it's just these two. Bottom side is gonna be either Strike the Unprepared or Death Record, right? Because Imposing Presence, it's hard to maybe keep that to be viable always, because you need to get you need to always have 100% HP to do this. Then Mark of Austerity again disappears next season, so it's gonna be the choice between either the Chestplate and Death Record, like I showed, because you kind of want to try and do a little bit of both, right? You want to try and see that it works this season and then also works for next season. That's why, you know, I didn't go for another Strike the Unprepared piece. Because if we look, for example, like I said, let's have a look at some Strike the Unprepared, which is obviously Strike the Unprepared is the best possible set, right? Because this is the one that gives you the most possible damage for the people. You can get an attack percent in there, for example, which is, you know, really important. It's not the best to have accuracy, but then if I look over here, I already got a crit damage with accuracy and crit rate. I already have a crit rate with quad attack percent, another crit rate, crit damage for attack. So Strike the Unprepared is a lot better to get. Whereas if I look at stuff like this, Enlightenment, even if I go at the bot attack at the top, Enlightenment with attack percent, don't really get it. And specifically, you want that in the Mythic pieces, right? I don't have that. Same thing. If I go over here and look at an attack percent, right? It's just the one that I carried over. Obviously, like I mentioned, there's still a lot of the season to go through. There's still a lot of the season to work with. But it is a lot harder to get that specific piece of gear that has the specific rolls on that piece to try and min-max certain builds. Again, like I would understand the fact that, like, yes, maybe an attack percent with crit rate, crit damage, for example, could work in flat attack, and then maybe defense percent could work in a Strike the Unprepared. And like, yeah, that one you might use on different types of damage dealers. However, it's a lot easier to get, like I mentioned, attack percent with a crit rate and a flat attack, or with a crit damage and a defense percent, right? It's a lot easier to get several stats that work as opposed to getting an Enlightenment chest. This is why, you know, I keep trying to emphasize this and to kind of like explain why I say I believe this to be the perfect piece, because it's a lot harder to get that one specific main stat to quad roll in the perfect specific substats, right? Because the perfect chest plates in a Death Record would be Enlightenment with, I think it's Penta 5, right? With a Penta attack percent. Whereas a perfect piece for a Strike the Unprepared can be attack percent with double rolls in crit rate, double rolls in crit damage, or triple rolls in crit damage, or triple crit rate, double in crit damage. You get what I mean? You have high chance of getting that, then you have to get something like this. But still, let me know in the comments down below, what do you think? Do you think I'm just too crazy, or, you know, do you think you actually agree with this? So, yes, we're gonna leave it at this. That's what I'm personally gonna forge as soon as I'm available. Let me know what you guys will forge, because I'm really curious about that. But I guess for now, we're gonna leave it at this. Thank you for watching. As always, if you do enjoy my content, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel to see when I upload next, and I'm gonna see you on the next one. Peace, love, take care, run. Bye, guys.